it's unfortunate that, historically, if you look at the ways Kulise ngakhona, certain things are set up for certain people. It's going to be hard to penetrate that. Now, we need to change our mindset in knowing Uguti, no one owes me anything. They don't have to include me in that circle. It's their circle, they've made it. For you to find a space for yourself in the industry is for you to realize you yourself are a space. Lina Laka ke Felicia Naiwa Sithebe. I am a 37-year-old mom of two. I like calling myself an all-rounder. I am a creative. I'm an artist. I am the proud COO of Actor Spaces and co-founder. I am into everything and anything that has to do with the arts, particularly uplifting our people using the medium of acting as a catalyst for change. Actor Spaces is turning 9 this year, but this is a dream that's been existing for over 15 years. I got introduced to the arts at the age of 14, 15, where I had high school Monday to Friday evening until Sunday evening, I had rehearsals. And that's where Ayanda and I also met, my husband, where we used to attend this community theater group, and that's where they taught us acting. And, all of us maslangana, we were always buzzing, happy, excited, because it was almost like a mahlanya sewasendaweni one, right? Where we're like, woo! So I understand but there was just so much comfort and a safe net that I'm with people who understand me, who get me, and I can just be who I am. In that, we started doing different jobs on theater, on TV, on radio, but there was just this one common problem. Every time you went on set, there was a clear divide of actor and crew and everybody else, And then in the actor corner, there's a clear divide of main, supports, and extras, right? And we just never understood why gonna let divide when we are all artists and performers. And I think that's why some actors will always tell you that there's never a small role. All the roles matter. Because right now in this room, you've got the camera guy, the sound guy, the what. We are all important. So whether that one is mute or that one is talking, we are all important, right? So we never understood why the thing was happening and people never got equal respect. And I think even with the main leads and the different stories that they need to tell and the different characters that they put on, again, even there's not a proper understanding of the process the actor must take on when they have to put on this character. So we wanted to create a safe space for actors where they can come in and the background artists can be seen as background artists and not extras. And the main cast would also understand that, okay, because it's like it's not even like it's a calling. For you to embody a character, kumele nje uzicalculate kahle, uhlale uyenze izinto in a certain way. We wanted to create the safe space so that when actors perform and they do their job, they feel like they set up to win. So essentially, actor spaces ibuya lapho, from this clear divide in the industry, from knowing and seeing and experiencing that actors are misunderstood. So we were like, if we were to do some things, profile my actor, let's start about this bazio. So Anders like, okay, it's Thomas Kapalens. He came home, he's like, ngine idea la. Ngicabanga ukuthi kumele siqale online magazine. So vele ngoba mina yes, siqale online magazine sizoyenza, and we just started thinking about the ideas around how are we going to celebrate actors and how do we tell their stories in the right way. So it's like, we want you to read stories and be inspired and be like, oh, wow, that's how I grew up. Oh, wow, we had a leak in the roof. Oh, wow. All of these things, because we just don't talk about them enough. You find people established and glamorous and you're just like, hey, it's too far-fetched. It's not my life. It's not me. So Actor Spaces really comes from that understanding. But when I say it wasn't an easy ride, because with the work that we do, so I moved from a child actor into production. And I used to work for the Home Channel, Ignition TV, Business Day TV. And I had to have a tough conversation around, okay, So if we're starting this actor spaces, what does it look like for our family? Who's going to do what right now? We had to have an honest conversation. It was like, okay, when I'm a producer, when I learn those budgets, learn those what's at me because I'm creative. I'm gonna come up with these ideas, right? But now we had to, I don't want to say step back because I was active, but people didn't know. Because now a lot of people are like, how? But because of the industry that we both shared and the conflict of interest and the blah, blah, this and the blah, blah, that, it couldn't be something I'd be proud to say and say, no, guys, ngida, I'm in it and we're doing it together. So that was tough, but I understood the sacrifice that we had to do as a family to ensure that the stripes that Actor Spaces earns, yazibonakale. It shouldn't be ukuthi no ngobu Felicia usibanibani, so we're gonna put that. Had to be clear because we knew ukuthi this task, this instruction, this assignment from God was very clear. We never doubted that. So we had to let that happen the way that it did until the right moment where God was like, okay, now it's time. So it wasn't easy. We're still in it, but now we're going through that beautiful time of just celebrating what we've worked so hard for over the last 9 years. So when Actor Spaces started, we had to do a lot of investing in it. So this means at the end of the month, when you're looking at your finances, you're like, okay, bond, car, school fees, food, rest is Actor Spaces. Where there's no room to go want to do fun things with that money. That money must invest. So the biggest sacrifice has been feeling like as a family you should have advanced a certain way right now, but have had to sort of pause that to advance the company. It's been that financial dip, and I think having to go through a health scare that meant you now have to also reevaluate how you're living this life. I've always been a busybody, overachiever, want to do this, I'm going to do that, I've got the energy for it, until I received a diagnosis of lupus, and I had to be like, but what do you mean I can't be as active as I was? What do you mean now I'm restricted by the fact that if I lift that bag, my joints are going to swell up and I'm going to have... What do you mean this body can no longer serve me the way it served me? So I had to have a tough conversation where God was like, "Aye, my child, it's not one main thing. At that one place, that's why I'm going to rid you of everything else. Mara because umaqinas, mangakudriphi kancane, you're not going to get it. You're not going to get it. So I need to strip you bare to the point where I went through brain fog. I went through struggling to get out of bed. I went through joints, pains, aches. I went through so many things that, because also you've put yourself in a position of influence and encouraging others. These are things that you can't even share and talk about because it's like, what do you mean, Shem Gunogbanzime life in yako? You seem like this ooh and the ha and the... So I've had to go through that, and I've also found my healing in just purely focusing on actor spaces where my health is at a much better place. I'm happy, I'm energetic. Every time I see my specialist, he's like, just a girl, I'm like, yes, doctor. So that's been interesting. So it's been the financial sacrifice, it's been the health sacrifice, but I am the most happiest person right now. Yeah. The industry needs to be more of an amoeba, right? Because an amoeba takes on whatever shape. A circle is rigid, it's a circle, that's it. And it's unfortunate that, historically, if you look at the ways kuliseng akhona, certain things are set up for certain people. It's going to be hard to penetrate that. Now, we need to change our mindset in knowing Uguti, no one owes me anything. They don't have to include me in that circle. It's their circle. They've made it. I'm going to be an amoeba. I'm going to create this thing that's going to work for me. And and I think that's where active space is suga corner as well. We knew we had to create a thing that works for us and makes sense. And now we're finding people saying, yeah, vele, ibiguphi vele. So why? Yeah, we needed something like that. So what I'm essentially saying is, to that young boy, that young girl there in Guyani, in Mtata, in wherever you are, for you to find a space for yourself in the industries, for you to realize you yourself are a space. So we need to start producing the content, putting it out there, creating those spaces. So lapha elokishini, in the rural areas, I'm sure there's a hall. If there's no community hall, there's a classroom. You stage that production. You shoot that mini short film on your phone. You do all of these things and you call on your community, your people, your family to come and engage. That's how these things start. When Actor Spaces started, we weren't well received and easy. People were like, who are these kids? What? You want to profile me? No. Some people were like, no. And now these are the same people that are now coming saying, yeah, when can we do a feature? So what I'm saying is wherever you are with the little that you have, use it to do what you need to do because nobody owes you anything. So you know that you need a space in the industry and the industry is not giving you that space. Create it so that you're the change that we need. The change is not there, you are. And the more all of us realize this, Uguti, with the little that I have, I can create a change. That's it. You don't need a million. You don't need a billion. The little that you have. And I think God has used us to show that. Because like I'm saying, month end besitos check statements. Hey, okay, we're gonna pay this, we're gonna pay this. It goes back to the company. And that's right. The work that we've managed to do purely based on beautiful relationships and partnership is amazing. My message, my advice, my 2 cents is wherever you are, use what you have. Those relationships, invest in them. It takes time to have a beautiful, valuable relationship. You need to invest in it. You need to care. When our counterparts are doing something, let's support each other. All of the things that I've went through, I've never doubted that there's the sun ray that side. Angazi doubt. The struggle has always been remaining faithful, hopeful, encouraged in that storm because kubuhlungu when things don't go your way. You start questioning yourself, you start questioning your angels, you start questioning God. Ukuthi, kanti, what is it? Why is it not working? But God always finds a way to remind me and tap me on the shoulder and say, no, 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 this is why. In a weird way, on the work side, I always knew that there's something more than this. It's the health side, which has been the biggest challenge for me because, when they say health is wealth, that thing is real. That thing is real. So that is why a minus bank balance has never scared me. But if you don't get better, you're going to die. That has scared me because that meant there's nothing I can do. That meant I'm getting pitch have to get my life. I can't pitch my life. I can't market my life. I can't send you a hot proposal to save my life. That's been my lowest thing that I've gone through in my life where I was like, shit, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna leave my kids, I'm gonna leave my husband, and that's it. I'm going to be a faraway memory. So for me, it was never on the work side. Somehow I understood the assignment, I saw it, it made sense. But obviously God had for me to just wake up and get out of it. So that I'd say was my lowest point in my life where I feared for my life because of health reasons, because of this lupus diagnosis. And obviously, when you come from a place of not knowing and not being educated about this thing, you just start panicking. So I had to pull myself out of it because I was like, I never shame. No one's going to read an obituary and say, shame, she was so frail. Oh, her last days were sad. They must say, in her last days, that girl was still presenting this, she was saying this, she was walking. That is the story of Felicia Naiwa Sithebe. Little Naiwa came into the industry saying she wants to act. But then I had to be realistic when it was time for me to go to varsity, that okay, ngiyabona ukuthi kunokusokolwa kule industry. Ngizenza njani if I'm not cute anymore? How am I gonna make money? Like, I had to have that conversation with myself. And I was like, okay, I know I love money. And ngiyathanda ukuba in charge. So, okay, let me go do something about business, marketing, entrepreneurship, right? So where I'm going with that is, with this one passion that you have, what are the connections? What does it also connect to? So you, an artist, must remember you're a business. What does the business need to thrive? The business needs to be marketed, it needs to have a strategy, it needs to be promoted, it needs to have all of these things. Then you start realizing and shifting your mindset that you're not an island. Yes, you say you love acting, but what are the things that connect you back? Are you trying them out? Maybe you did and you don't really like it. Cool, you're going back to the acting, but now you're informed. And now it allows you to better position yourself. And that's why sometimes in the industry we find talented actors, but they are not booking work because they don't know how to position themselves. So it can't start and end with you saying you just want to perform. Which world are you living in? It's sad that all the opportunities or growth or advancement seems to be in the city of lights. It's sad that we have grown to dub that as the place to be at, ukuthi sikhule siprogress senze izinto ezinhle empilweni. Now, Joburg is overly congested, kuningi, right? Where Sipho is emakhaya, that's the platform for Usipho to do great things. Now, I'll give you a real example where myself and Shoki Mola, who's an amazing actor, are working on a project. It's called Act to Empower, and it's going to be functioning in Limpopo, in the rural areas of Limpopo. Now, we've done such things here in Joburg. We have different partners. Some bite, some don't, because they are too busy. But now that we've introduced this project in Limpopo, you're finding more and more people saying, where can I plug in? What can I do? Because that land is still fertile. And Mangiti land, I'm not talking about just the physical land, but that space is fertile. It's untapped, right? And there's a beauty about going into a place that's just waiting to be discovered or to be explored. I pray for a rebranding of the industry. I think we've sold what we do in not the best of ways, because we've made it just seem like it's only about the glamour that only benefits one side of the industry. I'll go back to the actor and crew relationship or dynamic, where it's like we think the most important person in a room must shoot us something is an actor. And it's khohliwe ukuthi wonke umuntu that's been hired is a senior in their craft. So we're all contributing to give the best of ourselves. So we need a rebranding where we understand that we are all artists in our little corners with what we're creating. It's not just a certain type. So I think our industry needs to go through a rebranding, but the rebranding requires efforts from all of us in our little corner. It's not a whole big campaign where we all get the same brief and 9 a.m. songest jumper online. It's in our little corners of being truthful and real with the things that we do. We are human beings in this industry. We feel, we go through things. We need to come back. And I think it's sad because we've seen how in our creative space overall, be it music, acting, comedy, the rates of suicide are now alarming because we don't know how to be real anymore. Sesijwayele to put on our brief, kunzima to put it down and be real and be able to be like, this is what I'm going through. It's not easy, right? So I think we need a rebranding of truth, of honesty, of just genuine love and understanding of each other so that it makes sense. And from that, by easy for us to galvanize together and say, actually, asambe sonke siyotoitoya, because we want to find a ways to have a system that works for our industry. We're so separate, we've got different entities trying, but we feel like, oh, this one is focused on that. So we're not a unit. We need to be a unit. The same way you find doctors. I mean, we've got Doctors Without Borders. These are professionals that have come together and they've said, in a common cause, how do we achieve it? Guys, we need actors without this and that, creatives without this and that. So we impact our people. But we can't because it's my character every day. But if we down tools, then we'll be able to do things. I mean, in our industry, when you go to events, it's very rare that a person gives you the opportunity of a genuine conversation. Maslangana, it's, yeah, what are you working on? Woo, ungfake, yo. I just want to have a glass of wine or water right now. We're not talking work. Can we meet each other at a human level? And then that will come. So I think we need to go through a rebranding. We need to come back and align with how we're building this industry so that all of us are accountable for it. Because again, no one owes you anything. So what's your role? When njengobuthi yasikule industry baya favor banan, whoa, what are you doing about it? How are you changing it? Are you creating your own stories where you can empower more people and hire more actors and hire more DOPs? How are we working together and removing and demystifying this thing of thinking on set, only the actor is important and not everybody else that helps us create this beautiful story. So the more we come together, work with each other, so we build this beautiful thing, the more so was cool. The things I've been through, I know other people would have said, that's it, it's not worth it. I've had a lot of conversations with myself where I'm like, is it worth it? Really? Should I? So I think I'd say, Naiwa, I'm so proud that you've managed to not let your thoughts come into the way of what you're meant to do. I feel like this journey, iqala ku-1 iphela ku-10. I think ngisase ku-2.2. I'm still very far. But I'm so proud with how I've grown to be able to remove myself off, right? I'm so proud that I've been able to reverse things in my life, in my body, in my health. Like, I've managed to defy science, me, Naiwa. So if I've managed to do that, then there's so many other beautiful things that are waiting for me. So I would say to Naiwa, sometimes it's like, shoo, are you sure? But wow. Because you just stood, girl, and you just kept on going without knowing ukuthi ungenaphi kuyoyenzakalani, but you were like, pili kyaya, like pili kyaya. So yeah, I think I'd say, okay, girl, o tla ga botse. Yeah.